or tap into other people's $1 million visibility streams and find those win-win-win collaborations where you're speeding up the process to get to your ideal clients. You are listening to Amplify Your Success podcast, episode 363. And today I want to take you behind the scenes and how to access $1 million visibility that other people are generating. You ready for this? Let's get started. Welcome to the Amplify Your Success podcast. Get ready to ramp up your revenue, amplify your impact, and make your mark in the world. This is the show for experts, thought leaders, and service professionals who want to shatter their limits and achieve that next level. You're going to find out from other experts and influencers how they made it. Now, let's get amplified. Hey there, inspired entrepreneurs and business leaders. It's your host, Melanie Benson, authority amplifier and possibility igniter for expert-based entrepreneurs. And today's episode is about $1 million visibility, what it is, and how you can tap into other people's $1 million visibility streams. You might have caught on that I hosted a masterclass on this subject a few weeks back, and there was so many questions and so many DMs flying in and people going, yes, I want to be in the masterclass. Yes, I want to be able to tap into this. People were asking, Melanie, are you going to have the masterclass again? So there's two resources that I'll share with you towards the end that are available for you. But first of all, I just want to unpack what this means a little bit and why I think everybody's raving about it. And so just to set some context, what I mean by $1 million visibility is monetized visibility where you are able to take your message that's built around your superpower and get it in front of ideal clients that turns on that magnet and gets them to yes. It gets them to not just be a lurker, not just be a listener, but literally it just turns on a flood of new client leads. And then amplifying that by continuing to reap the benefits of that visibility over and over and over again. And that's what I'm going to unpack a little bit today. Now, there are two ways to access the $1 million visibility stream. One of them is to create your own visibility stream. And there's a lot of different visibility streams that you can create. But the momentum of a $1 million visibility stream has everything to do with your influence, with your authority positioning, with the energy around your brand, and how you are showing up as a bold, impactful expertpreneur inside of that $1 million visibility stream. So we build $1 million visibility streams with you in my Ignite Mastermind. That is the entire purpose, is to get you in the lead and really being the director of your $1 million visibility stream. It's very exciting to watch. And a $1 million visibility stream can get activated very quickly. Your $1 million visibility stream, when you get your messaging clear, when you get your offerings really dialed in, I call it optimizing your offers, and you are able to really position your authority platforms. And then, of course, my favorite is through collaboration. I know that not everybody is ready to build their own $1 million visibility stream. It was funny how this came about. I was in a mastermind conversation for me, like the mastermind I belong to, and we were talking about the way this works. And my mentor literally turned to me and he said, Melanie, you've been creating $1 million visibility streams since 2002. And he said, this is a gold mine. And everybody, in the mastermind was like, yeah, like I love this idea. And again, it's a positioning, it's a messaging, right? It's putting a framework around something I've been doing naturally. It's one of my superpowers since 2002. And what I realized is that when you have the right combination of authority and messaging, and you're solving really important, costly problems or helping people achieve things that they've been dreaming about for centuries, well, maybe not centuries, but decades, you're creating this buzz and momentum around your work. And then when you can borrow other people's visibility streams. You can amplify the financial reward side of that exponentially, and it shortens your path to building your own visibility streams. So I look back and, starting in around 2004, I was partnering up and collaborating with other really big name marketers and business coaches and business leaders. And we were sharing each other's stages and each other's authority platforms and driving business to each other. And I made well over $1 million inside each of those collaborations over a couple of years. So it is a very powerful technique. And it's a very intentional technique. It's recognizing that you don't have to do all of this by yourself. Now, I want to talk about a few myths that people maybe misunderstand how this works, and they misuse it, or they don't really know how to do it, yet they think they are. And the first myth is that it's hard. So it's hard to collaborate. It's hard to build your own $1 million visibility stream. It's hard, right? So I think this is a limiting belief. It's not hard, but it is going to require being intentional and focused on it. And it may mean you need to develop new skill sets. And so I think the baseline for $1 million visibility stream is, what is the message? What is that relevant, recognizable expertise that you have that other people need and want? The second thing about it's hard is it's only hard if you tell yourself it's hard and then you make it hard by overcomplicating it or not really tapping into the right resources and support systems. And it is not hard. It is just requiring intentionality. And I always say start with leveraging other people's $1 million visibility streams. They're all around you, everywhere. And when you do it well, and when you're really intentional about it, and you stay clear on your values and your standards around it, this should actually be something that happens in flow. And the reason why it is hard is because you're trying to do it all yourself. I guarantee you that's a big part of it. So it's not hard, but it does require intentionality. So that's one of the myths. The second myth is that if I'm visible, it's all going to come to me. Like, I'm going to get more clients. I'm going to turn on that $1 million visibility stream. It's just going to happen for me. And that may have been true a decade ago, maybe even 5 years ago. And it's not true now. This is one of those examples of what used to work is no longer going to work in this marketplace. And just because you have something amazing and you have a big name doesn't mean people are going to flock to it anymore. And we really have to understand the fundamentals of positioning, of brand alignment, of messaging, and having what you do optimized for the audience that's most likely going to say yes, for the individual clients who are most likely going to say yes, which requires a bit of testing and figuring out what is going to land and what's not. And sometimes really great ideas just don't land well, whether it's the timing of the industry or there's a lot of noise in the industry. Maybe there's some distractions with what's going on in the world. Sometimes it's just right idea, wrong timing. But when you really understand how to optimize what you're doing, and this is what I do in the 100K Authority Accelerator, is you optimize all the pieces so that the visibility is monetized. And I think this is where a lot of people get frustrated. And I had somebody who joined 100K Authority Accelerator this last round. They said, I've been visible and I'm really good at what I do, and it's not working for me. I'm not getting results. I'm not seeing the leads. I'm not seeing the client attraction. I'm not even seeing the $1 million visibility streams being activated the way you talk about. And I said, yes, that's because your fundamentals are not optimized. The fundamentals are your offer, your messaging, your talk, the topic you do, and the way you structure what you deliver. And then what happens when somebody knocks on the door and says, yes, I want to know more. What's the journey you take them on? All of that has to be optimized. And that's where we have opportunity. Now, the third myth is just because I have a really great offer and I'm really good at what I do, I'm going to get invitations and people should be reaching out to me. Again, that may have been true in the past. Even if you have great socials and you're really dialing in your messaging and you've got a great presence online, it still may not work. What's missing for a lot of people who are very talented and very good at what they do, but they feel like a best kept secret and they're getting passed over. They're not getting the invitations to speak. They're not getting a boatload of invitations to be on top podcasts and shows, to be interviewed. They're not getting the collaboration invitations is because you are not in your authority. Your positioning is not elevated. So I want to be really clear. You can be so good at what you do. You can be an expert. But if you don't know how to help people see what you do as an authority, all of that collaboration, that $1 million visibility stream activity that's going on around you, it's very easy for people to not recognize you as the expert. And I always say authority is in the minds and the eyes of the beholder. So because you know you're good at what you do, if your audience, if your collaboration partner, if your potential client doesn't see you as the authority, they're oftentimes looking for the expert, the person who they recognize has like the specialty or has this ability to really lean in and solve the problem. There are so many people out there that do what you do. There's so much noise. There's so many similar sounding service providers, vendors, coaches, consultants, whatever your trade, whatever your craft is. You have to learn how to stand out. And authority positioning is a very powerful, very energetically expansive way to do that. And it's always, the way I do it at least, it's always done with authenticity. Okay, you got to have that authenticity in it. So those are 3 myths that I see getting in the way of people really understanding how the $1 million visibility stream works and what should be happening for you. And let me just paint the picture of what's possible. What should be happening for you is you should be getting a steady stream of really valuable invitations to speak, to collaborate, to be featured on other people's stages. You should have really well-known, recognized experts in your industry saying, hey, how can we co-create some opportunity together? You should and could have a steady stream of ideal clients willing to invest 4 and 5 figures to work with you. Okay, now whatever your offering roadmap is, whatever your offering suite is, you should have that in your offering suite, and you should be getting people saying yes to that. And you could be making multiple 6 and 7, maybe even 8 figures, solving really valuable problems and working with amazing people. And if that's not happening right now, I'd love for you to tap into the $1 million visibility stream and learn how to either craft your own and lean into that and be the queen or king of your kingdom, so to speak, or tap into other people's $1 million visibility streams and find those win-win-win collaborations where you're speeding up the process to get to your ideal clients. It's a win-win-win. It's like when you're tapping into that, the person who has that visibility stream needs experts. They need content. They need other people to feature. That's part of their platform. You need visibility, and the people tuning in need solutions. So when all of that comes together and you really know how to ramp that up, it should be leading to millions of dollars for you and millions of people being impacted in the process. So I mentioned there's 2 resources, and one of them is we've recently refreshed my 7-step framework to really dial in how this $1 million visibility stream that other people have can be accessed. And if you'd like that, just head to amplifywithmelanie.com. Even if you've gotten it before and you're like, oh, I want to see what the new kind of refresh on that is, please feel free to go download it, amplifywithmelanie.com. We will link that up in the show notes. And keep an eye out. We are going to do an encore of how to tap into $1 million visibility streams as an in-demand guest expert masterclass. We're going to open up for a limited time, so keep an eye out for that. And if you're not in my email community, you definitely want to download the resource and get on my email community so you get first dibs when we open that door. Last, we have a couple spots open left for Ignite Mastermind and the 100K Authority Accelerator, and some amazing incentives when you lock in this year for next year. So reach out, let me know if that's something that you are ready to be the recognized expert in your field and take your business to a whole nother level by solving other people's problems. Thanks for tuning in today, Amplifier. Be sure to join us right now in the Amplify Your Authority community at authorityamplifiers.com, and I'll share my 7 proven tips to be a highly paid expert that stands out in a crowded market. Plus, we're going to keep this conversation going, and I want to hear from you how you're going to amplify your authority and make a greater impact. Before you go, please take a minute to give our show and our guests some love over on your favorite podcasting platform. Subscribe, rate, and review. Leave your full name, and I'll spotlight you and your authority on social media.